Hey everybody, it's Jim Pamplin from DREIA with a little court minute for you. Yesterday, as I often do, I'm perusing the court records as I help students with property leads. I ran across a case where an investor is suing the seller for specific performance. Now, this is a dicey proposition and expensive unless you have everything lined up. So the contract was, of course, in the file, and I love to read everybody else's contract. And the essence was that the investor was going to pay the taxes so that the property would not be lost at tax deed auction. And the seller, she was to start the ball rolling for closing. Well, he did, and she didn't. So he starts to sue. Now, the story is the contract that I read, um, there was like a huge amount of seller financing. And she says, well, that wasn't the deal. And apparently he changed the deal, according to her, and he changed it after he paid the taxes. Doesn't sound like a wise move to me, but before I cast any aspersions on him, he's probably done this before and it's worked just fine. And someone in his team may have not picked up the ball. And she basically just said, the hell you say, you know, she didn't care because that was the deal and she wasn't going to go along with this. People want their money. And you know, all he had to do was pick up the phone and call Viju. We would have loaned on that deal in a heartbeat. So who's telling the truth? Doesn't matter. Somebody's spending money. But I will tell you this. I read the motion for summary judgment that the plaintiff's lawyer wrote, and it asks only for a lien against the property for the taxes the investor paid. So he's out $25,000 or plus for the taxes and legal and court fees. As one of the founders of DREIA, Pat Keel, would say, boy, was that an expensive course. So what do you think will happen? What do you think is fair? I just want to leave you with that as a thought. I don't want you developing a strategy, an unplanned strategy of paying people's taxes, especially if you're a new investor. I will tell you, we've done it. We do it. But we have the people buttoned up. We have every player in line. It takes a team, and that's what we do at DREIA. Hello, it's Jim again, and I wanted to give you the rest of the story. That's probably copyrighted somewhere. So, as I said in the earlier segment, the investor sued for specific performance, and I'll let you know that the complaint was amended to include his attorney's fees after the fact. So he prevailed at the auction, and the property was sold for $340,100. So this is the one that got away. Of course, we were trying to get the deal from the lady after the fiasco with the investor. And the real problem, and as Viju always says, there's three sides to every story. And that the problem with this was the seller. She was too clever by half, would not listen to reason from an attorney or from anyone else. And now she will be kicked to the curb in probably about 9 or 10 days, as long as the sheriff is delivering writs. So I want to remind you all, this is a small town, and I got a call from a local title agent who said, are you trying to buy this house? And I said, no. It turns out she had the investor who was suing on the other line, and he was telling her about a deal someone proposed. And she said, hey, let me just call and make sure it's not the folks at DREIA first, because if it is, you can rely on them. But we were not in a position to make the deal because the lady kept talking about staying in the property, and she was trying to get someone else to do just what this poor investor had done, and that is pay him off. In other words, pay her taxes, and then she would once again ghost the investor, which is what she did to him. Now, I will say, hindsight is 2020. I don't know if we would have done anything differently than he did. I think there are ways, and we've done it, to buy properties in this situation, and I will do it again. And I will work with students again to do it. But this is the one that got away. And the person who bought it at auction, we've known for 25 years. He'll do fine, even though he paid a lot for it. And the investor got his money back. He got his money back that he paid out for the taxes, and he got
is lawyer fees. And our little group, well, this is one we didn't get. And we're better off not having dealt with the seller. So, as my friend Fed Lee says, you be careful. And if you want to know more about DREIA's program, Power Wholesaling, please visit our website, DREIA.com. Wishing everyone a great weekend.